Welcome to a special In Focus conversation here on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. There was a press conference last Friday night on the 20th updating some information on COVID-19 and what was happening in both the city and the county. One of the Facebook questions that we got asked about property taxes and an extension of that. We have come to the source. The Wayne County Treasurer, Cathy Williams, is here with us, and she's going to update us on what the government, what the state government has put into place and how locally they're going to handle that. So Cathy, thanks for spending a little time with us.
Thank you, Eric, for asking, because this will be great to get it out to the public. We've tried to release some things to the media sources, but if you don't mind, I have prepared some things just so I don't miss anything. So I'm going to go through, kind of read my information, and then if you got questions for me, that'd be great.
Okay.
So I'll just start right in. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the terrible sacrifices that all Hoosiers are making, Governor Holcomb has announced that the spring property taxes will still be mailed as usual, but the penalties will not be assessed for 60 days. So what that means is this: the Wayne County residents should be getting their 2019 paid 2020 property tax bills in the mail approximately the second week of April, and the spring installment due date is still May the 11th this year, but the late penalties will not be assessed until 60 days after the deadline due date. So the last day to make your on-time payments is July the 10th, which seems really, really strange, but that's what it is. However, that waiver of penalties does not apply to tax payments which have been escrowed by financial institutions on behalf of property taxpayers. So if you have a mortgage, your mortgage company, your escrow, has to be paid by that May 11th due date. The waiver does not apply to those folks. So with all the changes going on in our lives, and at this time in the Treasurer's office, we have some new changes as well. We are installing a drive-up Treasurer's property drop box in the Annex Building parking lot. It is similar in size and shape to the U.S. Postal Service Department drop boxes. And please do not put cash in the drop box. If you don't have a checking account, you may get a money order at your local bank, the gas stations, I believe, Walmart, the post office. You can get money orders or cashier's checks at any of those locations. So please don't put cash in the box. Your canceled check this year will serve as your receipt, because we're not having the public into the office. We'll be here for any questions you may have, so give us a call. We'll be here, and we just want to make sure that if you drop that check into the drop box, we will get it, and your canceled check serves as your receipt, so we will not be mailing receipts back. We haven't done that in several years, which is why a lot of times a lot of older folks tend to come into the office. They want that receipt, but you really don't need it. You have a canceled check. It's no different than the utility companies. When you pay the light bill, the gas bill, you don't get a receipt back. So we're just following suit because we don't have the money in the budget to mail back receipts and envelopes and the time and manpower to do that. And we are asking taxpayers to please utilize the Dropbox or the U.S. Mail or one of our local banks' drive-up windows. This year, we will only be using the services of First Bank Richmond and Wayne Bank, any of their locations. We will not be using West End Bank, as they are switching to Three Rivers. So you can't pay your bill at West End this year. You may also pay online through the Treasurer's website, and there's an additional fee for that, so beware. If you go on there, the credit card company does charge an additional fee for those services. The Wayne County Annex building is closed to the public unless you call ahead and make an appointment with the department that you need. You may contact the Treasurer's office with any questions you may have. However, things are very fluid at this time and may change by tomorrow. We're not sure. One thing I do want to say is please stay safe, take care, and remember that we live in one of the greatest countries on earth, and we all count on one another. We're all one big family. We're all connected. So please, please stay home, stay safe, and God bless.
Okay.
And I'm sure you have some questions for me.
Not questions. I just want to make sure to go over so that people really have a chance to really hear the highlights, because folks are used to, same as I have, you know, we're in and out of this county building a great deal. We know that you all normally set aside parking spaces
Yes,
for if
we
you're
do.
coming to pay your property taxes, park here.
True.
And a lot of people move, so they're used to doing that. Cash. You still have a lot of people who pay with cash?
Yes, we have lots of people that pay with cash. I'm not sure why that is, especially in the electronic age, but we do. So we do not want cash, you know, this time especially, because you can't come into the building and do it. We're really doing essential business only. As I said before, that could change at any time. So please just mail us a check, cashier's check, money order. We still have the drop box out on that would be the west side of the building. If you want to walk up and put it in that drop box tomorrow, the big postal service box or drop box for us will be out in the parking lot, or it's to be delivered here. We're going to get it installed right away. So that will be in the annex parking lot, and please utilize those services or drive through one of the local banks, First Bank, Wayne Bank. You know, they have several locations, so that would be great. It would be very helpful to all of us.
Has it been decided exactly where that box will be so we can kind of give people an idea of what they're going to see and where?
It will be when you come in the west entrance to the annex parking lot. As soon as you pull into that entrance to the lot, you're going to make like a right-hand turn and go between the two rows of cars that are on the south side of the building. And that drop box will be on the left side. We have a tree and a brick area. They're going to install it on the bricks. So you just pull over, drop your payment, and go right on out the other end of the parking lot. So that should be helpful.
The deadline really hasn't moved. It's just the date for which a penalty will be assessed. Is that correct?
Correct. So the governor, because of the economic strain on everyone, the governor has moved those penalties out for 60 days, so that people that aren't working, we don't want them to go, oh my gosh, now I've got a tax bill, what on earth, on top of everything else when people are so stressed. So he moved that out 60 days, so you have until July the 10th is the last date to get that in on time. So basically, we're going to be collecting bills from probably April the 13th is when I think they'll probably hit the mail locally.
Okay.
Through July the 10th. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that doing that means the settlement money and the money that goes to the schools and the libraries and the cities and the towns and county government, we will still get that money out at settlement time the same as always. However, there probably won't be nearly as much in that shortened window as what we normally have. So that is going to be a big strain for all of those units of government that need the money. So if you can pay it on time, that would be so greatly appreciated by everyone. I mean, we're all in a strain, and we're all in this together, as everyone has said. So just, you know, whatever you can do, and even if you can't pay the whole thing, if you can pay any part of it beforehand, please do. It would just really help a lot.
You're watching an In Focus special conversation. We're talking with Cathy Williams, Wayne County Treasurer. Just a couple of quick things before we let you go. For those people that are used to getting a receipt when they come in and pay, they're not going to see that this year. So you're really suggesting people try to use checks or something where they get a receipt on the front side, or their canceled check is a receipt.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly, because we're going to be cutting back on manpower as well. And it normally takes my whole staff plus a part-time lady. We're not going to have all of that because we're cutting back the same as everyone else. So we're at this moment in time, 30% of our workforce is going to be gone. So it's going to be tough. But still, if they could do that, that would be great.
A couple of things we want to reintroduce to people again. First Bank Richmond, Wayne Bank, the only local locations where they can do this as far as banks. West End, making a name switch to another company. So people are used to going there. That's not a location for paying your property taxes. West End.
You can still go to Wayne Bank. You can still go to First Bank Richmond. West End is switching over. They're going to be Three Rivers Credit Union. I believe now they have postponed that date. but we're already in the works, so we can't use them. Unfortunately, we can't, in my office, use credit unions for the government, the county business, so they're out of the mix this year, so that kind of limits us a bit, but you still can go online, pay with a debit card. There's a smaller fee. If you use a credit card, I think it's 2.5% of what you're charging. There's lots of other options. So we're just to try to make it easier for the people, and two, we still want you to stay home and do this. So the mail is still running. Just write a check and put it in the mail, but please, if you don't have your coupon, put a little note on the memo line that tells us what property address you are paying for, because it's really tough sometimes. Somebody mails a check with no paperwork and they're paying for their mom's property tax, but they didn't bother to tell us that. So sometimes it gets really tough.
Include all that
out.
information. If they have missed any part of this, if I have misspoke, there's a phone number that they can call to try to get some information to your office. What would that be?
765-973-9386. That is my direct line. I will be here, and if I'm not here, I can access that from home should the building close or whatever. So you can always get a hold of me at that number.
All right. Anything else we need to make sure people know?
I think we're good, other than please stay home, stay safe, and thank you all.
Cathy Williams, Wayne County Treasurer, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you, Eric.
This has been an In Focus special conversation. Stay tuned.